Hello everyone, my name is Mohammad Abdul Hadi of Civil Second Year Lateral Entry.
And myself, Mohammad Mazuddin from Civil Second Year Lateral Entry.
And myself, Syed Azimur Rahman Masaf from Civil Second Year Lateral Entry.
And now we are going to explain you about the major reasons behind the recent floods in Hyderabad. Reason number 1, we don't have statements anymore, we have politicians. Hyderabad in early 90s was wiser than the Hyderabad today. In 1908, there was a devastating cloudburst rain which had flooded the Musi river, and 1500 lives were gone and rendered 80,000 homeless. But there was an amends made after that. Sir Vishweswaraya was commissioned to conduct a meeting to study the flood and suggest the measure to overcome the impact of the floods. That's how the two reservoirs, Usman Sagar and Himayat Sagar, came into act. They were built as a flood relief centers. A modern system of drainage were made. In August 2000, rain wrecked again. The city recorded almost 469 mm rain, leading to the one of the worst flood we have ever seen since 1908. As many as 90 resident areas in the flood were gone. Of course, committees were formed, reports were submitted, but there was of no use. And still, it's October 2020, but we don't have any measures to be taken against the flood. That's why we don't have any statements. We have politicians.
Reason number 2, we built a whole new city on top of the agrarian imprint and forget all about it. We need to understand that Hyderabad is a system of catchments. The western edge is in Godavari River Basin and the eastern edge is in Krishna River Basin. Also, Hyderabad is a Deccan region which has disturbing drainage pattern. Water here does not flow in a single direction as the slope is in multiple directions. These tanks served agrarian purposes and the areas surrounding them were protected local area catchments. In the last 40 years, we have gone and built a complete city on top of this agrarian imprint. We built roads, we built buildings, we built parks and water bodies without any buffer areas. Our Necklace Road is a spectacular example of that. Both in the command area and in the 4 shore tanks, we have developed real estate. Having said that, there are a lot of the things that can still be done to reverse the drainage system. Not just the nalas. We must see the whole city as a catchment area and begin the clear critical areas of encouragement. It sounds like a lot, but it is actually only a matter of intelligence, and it can be done at a low cost. For all this to be implemented, we need an executive and ecological body like Lakes and Parks Authority, which can draw upon the coordinate and the relevant parts of the functions at HMDA, GHMC and departments like revenue, irrigation, roads and buildings.
Reason number 3, a big lie that everyone has bought into is it doesn't really rain in Hyderabad, but history tells us otherwise. While the overall slope of all the localities in Hyderabad remains more or less the same, almost all the nalas, strom, drains, culverts are gone, either landfilled and built over or simply filled with garbage and forgotten. So the water which is used to flowing in a particular way has no choice anymore. Where will it go? Take Alwal for instance. It's naturally a low-lying area and most of the development has come up around small ponds or lakes and their bunds. There must have been 15 to 20 of these lakes and ponds at one time. Take places close to Alwal like Luthakonda and Tangma. But is there any Kunta pond near Luthakonda nowadays? Is there any bund near Tangband? There has been massive urbanization all over Alwar and its surrounding areas in the last 3-4 years. More and more of the land gets developed into colonies, gated communities, massive apartment blocks or independent houses. So 20 years after the 2000 floods, we are not anywhere close to reducing risk because everyone has bought into the big lie that it never really rains in Hyderabad. Reason number 4, we have been feeding our lakes diet of garbage, sewage, and making them sick. One of our biggest failure is waste management. You see, every water body has a holding capacity, but over the years, with all the industrial waste and sewage being dumped into the lakes, the waste accumulated and has now affected the holding capacity of the lakes. So, the original FTL full tank limit of our water bodies doesn't hold good anymore. Off the record, officials will also say that we should reduce the FTL by half since the rest is filled with slip. That's not all. Even the feeder channels which used to bring storm water to the lakes have been reduced to drainage pipes which dump garbage, chemical waste and sewage water into them. Sadly, we cause this. Even if some people are doing their bit, the government is undoing all the good. Take for instance the High Court order passed in January 2016 on segregation of dry and wet waste. You might be doing it at your home, but they are still collecting all waste together and dumping them together. Hopefully, we will act before our water bodies die and we drown.
So, these were the major reasons of recent floods which occurred in Hyderabad. And now, let's see what are the measures which we can take to prevent floods in future. Measure number 1. Town Planning Department of GHMC should regularly monitor the prohibited areas to prevent encroachments. Measure number 2. We need to introduce better flood warning system and construct buildings above flood level.
Measure number 3. Risk mapping of the areas of the city should be done related to the floods using GIS technology. Measure number 4. GHMC and HMWSB should rethink its policy of charging amount of rainwater harvesting structures while according permission to the plan. So these were the measures should be taken to avoid the floods in future. And now let's hope for a better Hyderabad which will be free from every problem and a perfect home for us. Thank you.